Minds are being blown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're being too kind here, man.
You should see our faces. We're like, oh my god.
All right. I want to do justice, though. So.
So hi guys, welcome back to Kaafi Conversations. Today we have the amazing Arjun Adapalli. He is the only man who I know who listens to Shava Shava for the verse and not the chorus. You must have seen his reel, which is nothing short of viral right now. And Arjun, I must say it's today an honor to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. No, I'm happy to be here. And I think, judging from the response to Shava Shava, I think, probably more than just us two. I'm sure a lot of people really like that verse. So I'm glad that everyone, is on the same page with me. So,
yeah. So let us just start with like a basic introduction for the audience of who Arjun is and what does Arjun do in a day.
In a nutshell, I've always loved singing, since day one. I started learning when I was 7, and there was kind of no going back at that point. Like now I am actually, a data analyst by day and a musician by night. So, much like you guys, this is kind of like a big passion of mine. You could even say kind of a side hustle. I do a lot of, posting stuff like the Shava Shava reel. So a lot of online posting these days. I have a few songs that I'm working on right now that I'm hoping to, drop sometime next year. And I also do gigs on the weekends. So kind of, whenever I'm not on my computer, like outside of my day job, like I'm usually musicking or doing something of that nature. So
amazing. You are the second data analyst on the show.
Oh, really?
I don't know how that works. But could you
it's a pretty hot field, so yeah.
It absolutely is. So, talking about your passion. So could you just tell us about your journey from the beginning of you learning music to now?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, I started music, specifically classical music, when I was 7. I was learning piano and Carnatic music, which is like the South Indian style of classical music. I started around like 7, and I just continued to develop myself throughout my schooling years. Like I did my Arangate drum. I was in choir, so I learned Western classical vocal. So kind of just had a breadth of exposure to like different styles of music. And I listened to a lot of different music as well. And it was around senior year of high school where I started performing Indian music more regularly, like taking part in competitions. So throughout college, I would take part in like competitions in my college. And as far as like taking it to a more professional level, that really started in senior year of college, my last year. So I'd actually taken part in a reality show called Bharatatiyaga. It's an ETV show, so Telugu, and it was hosted by the late SP Balasubramaniam, and that was a huge turning point for me because obviously it gave me the TV exposure to kind of get my voice heard by a huge audience in India, and it was it was around the time where I was on track to go into dental school. That was like my initial plan. My plan was never to, pursue music professionally. I always wanted music to be a part of my life. That was something I knew. And, I guess I had a closet dream that like, it'd be awesome to be able to sing in movies and see what that, experience is like. But never did I really think that would actually happen, right? So Bharatatiyaga is what really opened doors for me. It gave me a lot of exposure. And, I got some opportunities after that to perform in India. And this, again, around the time I got my dental school admission letters and all that. So, I spoke with the admissions office and they basically gave me like a year to go to India and pursue music professionally, like do those, take up those opportunities and then come back the next year. So that's kind of what I did. So I moved to India, did a few shows, and in the process of like networking while I was there, I actually got some big opportunities to sing for some South Indian films, like in Telugu, Kannada, and Tamil. Got to work with some amazing, well-reputed music directors. I'm sure, anyone in any of the Telugu listeners will know Keeravani and Manish Sharma. In fact, Keeravani is the music director for Bahubali. Yeah. So I'd worked with him on his one song in his project right after the first Bahubali. It's a film called Size Zero. Yeah. So it stars Anushka Shetty, who was also
I saw that.
Yeah. So that was probably the biggest one, and worked with some other notable music directors, Manish Sharma, Harish Jairaj, and also around that time I got I got accepted for Super Singer, Airtel Super Singer, which is a really popular Tamil reality show. And that was kind of where I had to make a decision, okay, because it was around that time that I had to go back and start dental school. So I was kind of like, okay, what should I do now? I mean, this seems like a good opportunity. Should I take it or pass it up? And honestly, I felt like things were going really well. So, I ended up turning down my dental school offer, which was huge, right? But in my mind, it just felt like the right thing to do because these opportunities don't come every day. So, I spent... I decided to pursue Super Singer, and I'm very grateful for that. It was a great experience. It taught me so much about stage, like performing on stage under pressure, because every round I was singing a song that most of the songs that I sang in Super Singer I'd never heard of, right? Prior to that, I don't know the Tamil language, and I had to sing in front of reputed. Oh yeah, I did. One of the songs was where Madhavan was there. But the judge panel, they're like all these very well-reputed playback singers, right? And obviously I'm singing for an international audience, so like learning how to sing under pressure and handle kind of the nerves, because it really is a mental game more than anything, those kinds of things. So I learned so much, but at some point I thought I kind of like what I have right now, which is doing the data analytics thing, which is more left-brained, and doing music, which is more right-brained, like outside of that. So I realized that I really thrived in that sort of environment where I get to kind of cater to both sides of my brain, right? So that was one of the reasons, among many, that I decided to come back to the US, get my master's, and start working. And another big reason is, now I have the capital to fund my own projects, right? Which I didn't really have when I was a full-time singer. I probably could have gone to that point at some point, but I mean, right now I feel like I'm living, my dream, and that I get to fully focus on my passion projects outside of, work, and my work is really a means to fund my dream projects. And I love posting. On TikTok, Instagram. I love doing shows outside of work. It kind of gives a nice change of scene, right? So I feel like I really thrive in this environment. So I'm very happy with where I'm at. But I had an amazing time in India. I got to sing in movies, which I never thought I'd be able have the opportunity to do. And looking forward to seeing where life and music take me. So.
Arjun, would you say that being creatively fulfilled with your singing helps with your more analytical job?
Yeah, I think the main way it helps is that having that well-rounded lifestyle, right? It helps me actually perform well in both, because I would imagine if I were just doing data analytics 100%, and I was actually I'll be very honest, right? So as rewarding of an experience Super Singer was, it also drained me a lot. It's singing in those shows can be very just mentally and emotionally taxing. And the I guess the dark side to Super Singer, I mean, I'm going a little morose here, but I actually got so burnt out of music that I had to take a break from music for at least 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
It was pretty intense. So I just think the pressure, of being in the limelight and the politics around it, you know, the yeah, like, and I guess the strict, like the, you know, the crazy deadlines, right? Like we had shows back to back, and it was just constantly it's like med school for singing. That's the best way I can describe it. At least for me, especially not knowing the language, that also made it extra difficult, and being in a different country, all this stuff, right? So I think after that, I needed a break from music, kind of thing. So I spent, you know, the next 2-3 years focusing on my master's, getting settled in my job and all that. So I mean, that was at least one nice thing. But I also found that I wasn't thriving without music in my life, and it was at a, you know, there was a certain point where I actually remember the day, like, you know, I just started singing after a long time, and I felt like something opened up, you know, and it was just like, yeah, like I just felt so like alive just at that moment. And I realized that I really need both in my life, right? You know, I found that being full-time in music, I was missing that left brain part of myself, and then vice versa. When I was fully doing data analytics, I was missing that right brain. So now I feel like I have a nice balance. So I'd say, to answer your question, that's really the main benefit of being able to do music, is having that kind of holistic lifestyle, you know.
You know, Arjun, you said that you teach kids, and so every good teacher has a good teacher. That's what I've learned till now. So what was your guru like, or who was your guru in the first place?
Yeah, so interestingly, my first guru was actually one of my close like childhood friends growing up. We're still friends to this day. So he's actually a child prodigy, and now a professional, you know, a very well accomplished professional Chitravina artist in India. And he started teaching me when he was 11 and I was 9. So, you know, I was basically learning from my best friend at the time, right? Like, and, you know, I think it was pretty, you know, looking back, it was pretty amazing that even at that young age, we were still like, you know, we were crazy. We were just like, you know, we would run around the house and do all that stuff, just like, you know, any other kid out there. But when it came to class, we were just like in focus mode. You know, you know, he was such a good teacher. I owe so much of, you know, what I know today, my approach to music, and my like sincerity, my dedication to practice and improving my voice. I attribute a lot of that to him. His name is Vishal Sapuram. He's such a gifted artist. Like, he's fully focused on classical music, you know, professionally speaking, but very gifted, and, you know, I owe so much to him. And also, you know, having learned piano and Western classical, that kind of gave me more of a well-rounded, you know, exposure to Indian music.
So I think, including the remixes, I'm sure there are more than 100,000 reels based on that audio itself, the Shava Shava audio.
Right.
So what are the standout reels you have seen so far based on that audio, which are creative and you know, little awe-inspiring?
Yeah. You know, I've seen all sorts of audios come out of this, right? Whether it be, you know, marriage montages, or just like, you know, promoting, like businesses promoting their product, or dance videos. I've seen duets with the, you know, with that video itself, right? Like singing duets or what have you, right? You know, it's so interesting to see, like, you know, all the different ways that someone can, you know, utilize a given video. It just goes to show, like, how truly creative, you know, our world is, right? I've even seen, you know, instrumentalists jump in on it. Like, I've seen someone play tabla to it. And yeah, on TikTok actually. And, you know, it's beautiful, right? Like, you know, kind of this, you know, the scope of creativity that these sort of platforms provide for people. It's pretty amazing, and it's cool to see how people approach it. You know, like all these different artists, dancers, musicians, business owners, and the like.
तू ऐसे ही करता है ना, I don't know what to do. अच्छा, So Arjun, we have a signature question on our podcast. This
Okay.
question has been asked to every single guest, and
Yeah.
the question is creeps question mark. Please elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I've received a huge response, especially for the Shava Shava video. A lot of people sliding in my DMs and asking about singing too, and it's sweet. I mean, I'm glad that ultimately, I'm glad that people are liking the videos a lot. Fortunately, it's never gotten too sketchy with any of these things. I've honestly received so many sweet messages from people, like saying, "Oh, I had a really rough day, and then I heard your song, and it lifted my spirits." And that's always been my goal with this, right? Like to uplift the world through music, right? To touch people's hearts, and this clearly it's working, with all this. So it's the most gratifying thing to get all these messages. So. Thanks to everybody out there who messaged me or shared the post or what have you. It's great.
Arjun is the only guest who has used the word sweet.
I use that a lot. I use it a lot. So yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start with the rapid fire round now.
So the first question is that do you really listen to Shava Shava for the verse?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What
I mean, the rest of the song is, it's catchy, but I like that the most. Yeah.
The only thing I picture Shava Shava mein is Amitabh Bachchan saying everybody Shava Shava. That's the only thing I picture.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's catchy too. Yeah. But my favorite part is that they cut them.
So, what is your favorite collab?
Working with Streamix on the Tamil remixes. That was fun.
Right.
Dream collab and end goal with social media.
Dream collab. I'd say working with Arijit and Preetham, Arijit, and that entire team is like my dream, my biggest dream right now. So yeah.
So Arjun, we have seen that your mom sings too, and so would you ever consider releasing a EP with her?
Oh, that'd be cute. Yeah. I mean, we posted on Mother's Day, and it was very touching. People were like, "Oh my god!" I had no idea your mom could sing too. So, yeah, maybe another Mother's Day EP. Who knows? Yeah.
What is a song which is stuck in your head right now?
Stuck in my head. Okay. The Pushpa songs. I've been listening to a lot of Telugu. So there's a new Pushpa movie with Allu Arjun. All of those songs, like that entire album is pretty fire. So I recommend it.
So how do you not melt when you're talking to Shahrukh Khan?
I don't know. I definitely melted. So how do you not? That's a good question.
Who's your biggest inspiration?
Preetham team. That entire team is just incredible. It's incredible what they do. In the film music space, and A.R. Rahman, of course. The picture says it all, right? You must have seen it in the Shava Shava video. Yeah.
So, have you ever written a song for someone?
Not for. So, interestingly, the songs that I've written were not focused on a specific person, but just it was more the emotion of love that kind of brought it out. So, yeah.
The most technically sound singer in the Billboard Top 200.
Technically sound. I'd say Ariana Grande. Yeah.
So if you were a song, what would be your title?
Live life to the fullest.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, I don't. It might be a lame name, but that's really what I live by. Yeah.
Sweet. Who's your favorite composer?
Preetham.
I love that.
Speaks to me.
Arjun is on first name basis with Arjit. Nobody calls him Arjun. I just Arjit Singh.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's only one Arjit, right? So I'm just like, yeah.
So Arjun, whenever you're comfortable, please honor us with a song.
All right, let's do this.
देखा तैनू पहली पहली बार वे होने लगा दिल बेकरार वे रब्बा मैनू की हो गया दिल जानिए हाय मैनू की हो गया.
So, Arjun, thank you for joining us today. It was truly an honor to speak with the man behind Shava Shava. And my favorite song now is that Senorita song. So, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
So, thank you for watching, guys. Please make sure to follow Arjun on his links. My favorite song in the world is in the description by Arjun. And please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye bye.